The tray holds 4 coffees. You memorize the order in week 1. 2 oat milk lattes, 1 black, and 1 caramel thing with extra foam for the man yelling at you right now. His name is Voss. He runs the 3rd floor, and he is explaining loudly so the whole floor can learn something, that the foam is wrong. You apologize. You ride down 11 floors to fix it. Here is what Voss doesn't know. 1 year from today, he is going to hand you a signed letter across a walnut table, and his hands will be shaking. Right now, he hands you a $5 bill and tells you to keep the change and the line moving. You say thank you. You mean it. This is the best year of your life. Nobody can tell. Your badge says intern in orange letters. The lanyard is the cheap kind that twists. Under the photo, there's a name, and it's your mother's maiden name, and that is not an accident. 14 months ago, a lawyer named Whitmore read you your grandfather's will in a room that smelled like old paper and older money. The company, all of it. Marlowe Freight, 11,000 employees, 2,400 trucks, 41 warehouses across 9 states. Your shares are worth $2.1 billion. The internship pays $17 an hour. You live on it because there was one condition, a single page in your grandfather's own handwriting. Work 1 full year inside the company. At the bottom, under a name nobody knows. If anyone finds out who you are before the year ends, the voting shares go to the board forever. So you microwave instant noodles in the 4th floor break room, $1.12 a cup, directly under a framed oil painting of the founder. Your grandfather, age 30, jaw set, sleeves rolled. Nobody ever looks up at it. Nobody ever looks at you. That's the whole plan. You take the 6:40 bus, you badge in at 7:55. You refill the printer on 3, the one that jams if you load it past the red line. Everyone loads it past the red line. You unjam it. You carry boxes with your knees, like the safety poster says, because you are the only person in the building who has read the safety poster. In meetings, you take notes, and nobody introduces you. You have learned that a person holding a notepad and wearing an orange badge is invisible in a way money cannot buy. People say things in front of you they would never say in an email. At lunch, you eat at your desk, scrolling like any intern. That's what it looks like. What you're actually reading is the maintenance log for Warehouse 19, because the roof repair bid came in at twice what roofs cost, and somebody upstairs approved it in 1 day. You screenshot nothing. You write nothing down at work. You have a rule about that. On the 2nd Tuesday of every month at 9 at night, you sit in a diner booth across from Whitmore. He orders cherry pie. He never eats. He slides a folder across the table. Board minutes, quarterly numbers, expense reports. You slide back a single page of notes in handwriting. You keep deliberately ugly. Your dividends land in a trust you can't touch yet. The statement has a comma in it. You have to count twice to believe. Then you take the bus home and set 2 alarms, because the 6:40 doesn't wait for billionaires. Your paycheck lands on Fridays, $680 after tax. You did the other math exactly once, on the bus, phone tilted away from the window. The company nets around $200 million a year. Your stake makes your share a little over $2 million a week, $300,000 a day. Call it $12,000 for every ride home on the 6:40. You look at the paycheck, you look out the window. Both numbers are yours. Only one of them bought the noodles. Voss has a saying he repeats maybe twice a week, loud enough for the floor. Interns are furniture. He thinks it's management philosophy. When the regional director visits, Voss presents a dock scheduling fix that cuts loading times by 14 minutes per truck. That fix came off the break room whiteboard in your handwriting, unsigned. He gets a bonus for it. He buys a watch that costs more than his car and leaves the box on his desk for a month, facing outward, like a diploma. You say nothing. The fix works. The trucks load faster. They're your trucks. Rosa runs dispatch. 2 phones, 1 headset, a thermos of coffee that could strip paint, and a photo of her son Mateo taped to the monitor, the tape gone yellow. She is the only person who says your fake name like it's a real one. When you tell her you can't fly home for the holidays, she doesn't say anything sympathetic. She just shows up the next morning with a foil package of tamales, still warm, and says her husband made too many, which you will learn is a lie she tells everyone she feeds. In March, Voss cuts dispatch overtime to make his quarter look lean. Rosa starts staying late anyway off the clock, because Freight doesn't care whose quarter it is. You watch her through the glass, headset on at 7 at night, unpaid. That month, in the diner, between the pie and the check, you mention it. 1 sentence. Whitmore doesn't even look up from his folder. 11 days later, a memo comes down from the board. Overtime restored, company-wide, back. pay included. Voss reads it out loud at the morning meeting in the voice of a man reading his own obituary, and then looks around the floor like the building itself ratted him out. You unjam the printer. The roof bid for Warehouse 19 dies in committee the same month. The contractor, it turns out, was married to the sister of a man 3 floors up. And now that man is suddenly very interested in early retirement. Nobody can figure out who flagged it. It becomes a small legend on the dock. The ghost upstairs. Rosa says the ghost is your grandfather, still watching his trucks, and laughs. You laugh too. You laugh the longest. Here is the thing nobody tells you about being invisible. It almost breaks 3 times. The first time is the painting. A new hire from marketing stops you in the lobby, coffee tray in your hands, and looks at the founder's portrait, and then at you, and then back. Anyone ever tell you that you look like him? The lobby goes 1 degree quieter. You look up at the painting like you've never noticed it before, and you say, "Poor guy," and keep walking. Behind you, the new hire laughs and forgets. You count your steps to the elevator. 18. The second time is the HR system. In July, it resets overnight, and for about 40 minutes, your file shows your legal name. A benefits coordinator prints your file at 4 minutes past 8. You know because you are standing at that printer when the job comes through. The printer you maintain, the one that jams. It jams. You apologize for the machine. You clear the tray, hand her the warm reprinted stack, -1 page, and feed that page into the shredder with the recycling. She thanks you for being so helpful. You are, by unanimous agreement, the most helpful intern the floor has ever had. The third time is the magazine, the company's own quarterly, sitting in the break room. Page 9, a retrospective. Your grandfather at a ribbon cutting, decades ago, holding a 6-year-old boy. The boy is small and out of focus and has your eyes. The magazine sits on that table for 9 days. Voss does a crossword on the back of it. Then somebody spills soup on it and it goes in the bin, and you breathe out for the first time in a week and a half. Now the cost. Because there is always a cost, and this one has a face. Rosa invites you to Sunday dinner. You sit on a folding chair in a small, warm kitchen and eat the best meal you've had all year. And Matteo shows you his sneaker collection. And Rosa's husband asks you real questions about your family. And every answer you give is a lie with good manners. These are the kindest people you have met in this city, and they are being kind to someone who doesn't exist. On the bus home, you finally understand the last line of the will, the one in handwriting, shakier than the rest. You can't own what you don't understand, and nobody shows an owner the truth. That's the line. That's the whole year in 2 sentences, because Voss has never once lied to furniture. The dock workers don't perform for furniture. You have seen this company exactly as it is, which is a thing no owner in a corner office has ever seen at any price. The disguise wasn't hiding you from the company. It was hiding the company from becoming a performance. Your grandfather knew. He did his year at 19 on somebody else's loading dock under a name he borrowed from a dead cousin. He built all of this so that one day he could force you to start where he started. The inheritance was never the shares. The shares are just the receipt. Week 51. Voss cancels the internship program. Budget optics, end of fiscal year, a line item he can kill to look decisive. He does it in the hallway, personally, because he enjoys this part. He hands you a flattened cardboard box to pack with, and he says, "Nothing personal." Furniture doesn't take it personal. Security walks you out. Gus at the front desk apologizes with his eyes and pretends to check a box he isn't checking. Rosa comes off the dock with her headset still on and hugs you hard enough to bruise and says they don't know what they just lost. You hug her back. You don't trust your voice, so you don't use it. In the parking lot, your phone buzzes. Whitmore, 1 line. The year ended Tuesday. He fired you 3 days too late. Friday, 41st floor. The boardroom has a walnut table long enough to land a small plane on. And today, the seats are full, because today the trust dissolves and the voting shares transfer, and management has been invited to meet the new majority owner. The CEO is there. The heads of every division are there. And near the end of the table, in his best suit, invited upstairs for the first time in his career to represent floor operations, is Voss. He's wearing the watch. The chairman clears his throat. Before we vote, the majority shareholder would like to introduce himself. The door's open. You are wearing the same charcoal hoodie you have worn every day for a year. You could afford anything now. This is what you chose. Clipped to the chest, straight for once, is the orange intern badge. You watch it land on Voss in stages, like weather crossing a field. The polite blankness, the flicker, the checking, and the double-checking. The apology assembling itself somewhere behind his teeth and dying there. He looks at the badge, then at your face, then at the badge again. The way you'd look at a math problem that has started looking back. Some of you know me, you say. I do the coffee run at 9:15. 2 oat milks, 1 black, extra foam. Nobody laughs. One person at the far end coughs into the silence, and it might have been a laugh in a former life. You keep it short because your grandfather kept things short. You tell them the company is healthy in the places nobody photographs and sick in 2 places nobody upstairs has looked at, and that you have spent a year looking at them from below, which is the only angle that doesn't lie. Then you put forward 2 motions. Motion 1. The internship program is reinstated, permanently funded at a real wage, and renamed after a man who never existed. Your fake name. The name is the lesson. Motion 2. Dispatch overtime is protected in company policy, not at a manager's discretion. Policy. Both carried. Unanimous. It's remarkable how agreeable a room becomes when the furniture turns out to own the floor. You don't fire Voss. This is the part he will never understand, and the part you don't explain. You stand up, you thank the board, and as you pass his chair, you say quietly, "Thank you for the honesty. All year, everyone else would have performed for me. You never did. I always knew exactly what you were." Monday morning, it's on your desk before you arrive. A single envelope, hand-delivered. His resignation, signed. The signature wobbles on the last letters. He hands it across the walnut table himself, standing, jaw working, hands not quite steady, 1 year to the day since a $5 bill, and keep the line moving. You read it, you look up, and you give him back the only 2 words you owe him. Nothing personal. The next morning at 9:15, you do the coffee run yourself. The barista has your order memorized, which is how you like your fame. 2 oat milks, 1 black, and 1 caramel thing with extra foam. Because Rosa has decided, now that she works 2 floors up with a title and a window, that she deserves foam, and she is correct. You still take the 6:40 bus most days. The board finds it eccentric. The doc finds it hilarious. You find that it's the only place in the city where nobody performs, and a man can read his maintenance logs in peace. In the fall, the new interns arrive. 40 of them, paid properly, orange badges, and terrified eyes. You watch them file past the painting nobody looks at. One of them, a quiet one in the back, has a badge photo that's crooked, and something in the way she watches everything and says nothing. You catch yourself wondering who she really is. Then you smile, because that's the point. You'll never know. And you'll never again treat anyone in that building like furniture, because now you know what furniture hears. So here's the question you take home tonight. If you vanished into the bottom of your own life for 1 year, invisible, underestimated, carrying the coffee, who would still be kind to you when you were nobody? Whatever their names are, that's your list. That's the whole inheritance. The rest is freight.